All right, guys, something happened with my camera or with me. I'm not really sure, but I didn't record my voice for this. But here's my meal prep for dinner this week. It is a crock pot Tuscan chicken. So this is what you do first is you get the cream, and I use half and half instead of heavy cream. And I kind of put that in a saucepan with some garlic and saute it up. I put the chicken into the crock pot and I add some sun-dried tomatoes and I chop those up. And then when the cream is, very fragrant with the half and half, I pour that in there along with a small amount of the chicken broth, like 1/3 cup. And then we put some Parmesan cheese in, of course, like I said, salt and pepper and Italian seasoning. And so after your chicken is mostly done or completely done, I usually take it out and chop it up. And then you add the spinach back in and let the spinach cook for maybe 30 minutes or so until it wilts. And I can't tell you how good my house smelled with this stuff cooking. I cooked it last Sunday, so it was my meal prep for the week of this week. So I cooked it on Sunday, but it smelled delicious. All right, so here's the finished product. I chopped up my chicken and or shredded it, and then I put my spinach in so that it wilted. And like I said, the smell alone is amazing. So what I usually do is either make brown rice or this time I chose to do the cauliflower rice. So I just pop this in the microwave because it makes it a whole lot easier. So I just pop this in the microwave and I dump everything on top of the cauliflower rice. And so what I usually do is I have it with like this. I have some sourdough bread, so I have a little of sourdough bread on the side of it. And this is it's just so delicious and warm and comforting, especially since it's been really cold here in the south here lately. All right, so for my lunch this week, I'm making these Asian glazed meatballs. It calls for either turkey or ground chicken, but I'm choosing ground chicken. I like that better. And you just add breadcrumbs and ginger, soy sauce, and garlic powder. And then I usually add some broccoli along with it. And I put some brown rice in with in my little container. But I've decided to use the sesame teriyaki sauce, the jarred. I usually make my own, but this makes it so much easier and it's really good too. And it's lower in sugar than most teriyaki sauces, so that's and I only use a very small amount, just enough to coat the meatballs. And like I said, I add the garlic, the broccoli along with it, and the brown rice. All right, and so this is the finished product that I packed for my lunch, and it made enough for 5 days. But I think next time, if I do it, I'm just gonna do enough for 4 days, like I usually do. Just add, I do 5 meatballs and then distribute the rice and the broccoli with all of the with the 4 bowls. Because I felt like I was still kind of hungry, or I got hungry faster throughout the day, so I feel like maybe that wasn't enough protein or enough food. So next time I'll just do just 4 servings and do 5 meatballs at each lunch meal. All right, so I got these crispy crowns, just spur of the moment. I wasn't thinking, and I probably will never buy them again. Well, not never, never say never, but they are not the healthiest. But I'm trying to get rid of them. I've used them in a bunch of stuff, but this morning I'm making a little bowl. This is one of these bowls that keeps me out of the drive-through. So what I'm doing is making a bowl of the crispy rounds. I got egg with cilantro. I'm gonna have and then throw some cheese on it, and then some sour cream, light sour cream, all in a bowl. And I have some also. I'm gonna have some salsa to put in it. So I'm just gonna make a little potato egg bowl. Like I said, this is something that keeps me out of the drive-through. It's not the healthiest because of those rounds. Probably it'd be better if you use fresh potatoes. So I'm just right now I'm sauteing some onions and peppers and spinach. Okay, I had a bunch of spinach. You know how it cooks down. I mean, I know that is the saddest bit of spinach you've ever seen, but it was a lot more before it cooked down. Okay, and I was too lazy to go back and get it out of the refrigerator and put more in. So this is the amount of spinach I gave myself this morning. Okay. But I just saute the onions and peppers together, and then I will add the egg on top with the cilantro. All right, and so here's my little bowl, like I said, with the potatoes, eggs, and cheese, a little bit of sour cream, some cilantro, spinach, eggs, excuse me, onions and peppers, and some salsa. And it was delicious. It was so good. And so I felt like maybe I needed a little more protein, something to keep me full longer. So I added this yogurt, the Oikos Triple Zero yogurt. It has 15 grams of protein in it. And this is my favorite flavor, the Triple Zero. But I added this along with my little bowl this morning. So that way it would keep me fuller longer with the extra protein. So here I am doing some exercises. I'm not really sure why it's going in slow motion. I mean, I'm pretty slow, but I'm not that slow. But anyway, I'm not sure what's going on here. But I'm doing some strength training this week. And the video, I go to YouTube. And the one I go to for strength training right now is Senior Shape Fitness. And I know you're thinking, okay, well, I'm not a senior. I don't need to do that. Okay, she kicks my butt. She has a ton of videos. She's really great. She's very soft-spoken. And that's what I like. You know, I don't really like the people who yell at me all the time and tell me to go do this and do that. But she has a lot of videos. She has some great cardio. She has a kickboxing video that I thought I was going to die on when I did one day. But I like it because it's challenging. And I like to be challenged a little bit. But here I am. I'm starting to do some 10-pound weights, not for every exercise, but just for a few. And so this is some strength training that I did. And I'll link it below who I follow. And here I'm doing some deadlifts. And I'm using the 10-pound weights too. I do start out doing exercise every morning. I mean, I try to do it as soon as I get up in the morning. I get up, go to the restroom, feed my kitty cats, take any medication that I'm supposed to take, and then I get my workout clothes on and I start working out. Because if I get up and I maybe go sit down or maybe turn on the TV, I put something on, I'm never going to do it. I'll just make 100 million excuses of why I can't exercise because of some other reason. I'm already warm. I'm cozied up in my blanket, whatever it is. So I have to get up. And sometimes I just go ahead when I get up, go to the restroom, I throw my workout clothes on right then and there, and then go and feed my cats and take any kind of medication. And then I start exercising right away. So it's usually very early in the morning when I exercise. Okay, so I am sweating by now, and this one is the worst for me. You just watch some of the faces I make. It is very painful to do this, but I am completely sweating at this point and I'm glad that this is the last exercise because this one truly does kill me. It gets my shoulders going, and you can see that I have used going back to the 5-pound weight because this one is totally, totally hard on my arms and my shoulders, and this is the one where I can make some of the craziest faces because I think I'm going to die. I feel like it, but at the end, I'm very glad and I feel good, and I'm very, proud of myself for completing this strength training video. Okay, so here I am just doing the cool down. Glad it's over and glad I completed it. Glad I started. And if you see in the background, you see my little kitty. She's I call her the nosy neighbor. She just likes to sit and look out the window and watch whatever's going on outside, which is not a whole lot because as you'll see in just the next clip that we are having a snowstorm in the Carolinas. All right, so this is something you don't often see in the Carolinas. Last weekend it was an ice storm. This weekend is a snowstorm, and I recorded this a few hours earlier. So now the grass is practically covered over, and that is just very rare for my neck of the woods. And usually when it comes up a snowstorm or something like this, we all gravitate to the store and get groceries, and usually it's, not fruit and vegetables. It's usually, Doritos and chips and dip and sodas. And this time around, I did the opposite. I got the fruit and vegetables, and I also thought, I'm going to have a little kind of a junk food thing. And in the next clip, I'll show you that I made a pizza from Lavish Bread, and it was under 400 calories, and it was delicious.